Hi, everyone. I get asked a lot whether I prefer my coding books in ebook format or in paper format. And, the truth really is that I like both formats. So I thought I would show you the ebook format and how easy it is to actually go through and utilize this tool. Now, keyword searches are like asking for chocolate at the grocery store. You're going to get 320 results suddenly. Find yourself on aisle 9 deciding between chocolate hummus and cocoa scented shampoo. But use the exact code search. That's like telling the store clerk that you want 72% dark chocolate from the bottom shelf, third from the left. Boom! Efficient, delicious, no detours through the panic stroll aisle. Also, collapsing sections is your digital Marie Kondo moment. It sparks joy and shows only what you need. Don't fight the fold, embrace it. Teaching students to scan and filter effectively is like training a toddler to shop at Target, but only buy what's on the list. Without structure, they're grabbing everything shiny and scrolling like their lives depend on it. Help them pause, breathe, and remember that the search bar is a tool, not a dare. Now comes the fun part, live demos. This is where I pretend to be cool under pressure while searching colonoscopy in front of 300 people. But seriously, I'll walk through a few terms your students use, like ear infection or gassy baby, and show you how we can zero in on the right section without sacrificing our sanity or our control F keys, because nothing says success like navigating the ebook faster than your coffee can get cold. All right, folks, this is the part where we all become amateur detectives. Somewhere deep in your inbox, possibly nestled between a Bed Bath and Beyond coupon and an email from that Nigerian prince, is the email with your ebook access. It often takes a detour straight into your spam or to your junk folder because apparently even your inbox doesn't trust helpful educational resources. Once you find it, look for the hyperlink to create your bookshelf account. Now, if you already have one, perfect. If not, welcome to the club. You're about to create an account that will become your lifeline during finals week. I like to walk my students through this during orientation night or office hours because, let's face it, if we don't do it together, half of them will think bookshelf is an actual furniture purchase they forgot about on Amazon. Now, if you don't already have a bookshelf account, don't worry, creating one is super easy. Just follow the create account prompts like you would with any other site. It's just like setting up a Netflix account, except instead of binging reality shows, you're binging CPT code descriptions, which, let's be honest, is kind of the same level of drama. Choose whether you are an instructor, student, or other. Once you've made your choice, you'll plug in your first and last name, email, and password. Remind your students to use an email they actually check, not the one they created in 2007 for online sweepstakes. Have them write down the password somewhere that isn't a sticky note stuck to their cat. And no, password 123 is not a good choice. I've checked. Then you'll click the box using saying that you agree to the terms and the use and the privacy policy. None of us ever actually read, but pretend that we did. It doesn't say that we get your firstborn. I checked. Finally, click the create account and boom, you're officially part of the bookshelf family. Now that you've created your account and survived the existential role selection, it's time to hit that beautiful little button, redeem code. Think of your access code as a secret handshake that tells the system, hey, I belong here. Enter your 12 to 20 character code, the sacred sequence bestowed upon you by your instructor, the bookshelf, or a mysterious third-party vendor who also sells textbooks and oddly specific desk lamps. Here's the trick. Copy and paste it directly from the original email. Why? Because typing it by hand is like trying to recreate a Starbucks order from memory. One tiny mistake and it won't work. And you question all your life choices. If you have more than one ebook, don't hit redeem just yet. Stack those codes like you're shopping for a promo sale and enter them all in first. Then hit redeem once. It's like a buy one, load one free situation. Instead of shoes, you're collecting CPT, ICD-10 books, and Hicks picks like trading cards. And yes, I do tell students, don't just redeem one and come back later unless you enjoy chaos and confusion. Here's another cool feature. You can download the Bookshelf app right to your smartphone or your tablet. Yes, friends, that means your ebook can now travel with you across an airport, your kid's soccer game, or even the back of a horse. I do speak from experience. Just search the Bookshelf in your app store, or better yet, click Learn More from the main screen to be guided through. For those of us who love shortcuts, and let's be honest, that's all of us, the QR code is your golden gateway. Just whip out your phone's camera and scan the code, and it'll take you straight to the app you'll need, whether it's Apple Store or Google Play, depending on your advice. Once downloaded, you'll be able to bring the entire ebook library with you wherever you go. Once installed, you can highlight, bookmark, you can even search codes while pretending to text during awkward small talk. If your code doesn't work the first time, don't panic. Just double check that the O's aren't zeros and that your cap lock didn't go rogue. If all else fails, take a deep breath, try again, or just call Lexi. For those of us who still love the luxury of a full keyboard, there's more good news. You can also download the Bookshelf app right onto your desktop. That's right. No tabs lost, no browser battles, just pure ebook bliss. To get started, click the little person icon at the top right of the Bookshelf screen. From there, you'll see the option to download the desktop version, and just like that, you're turning your computer into a certified coding command center. The best part, you can use it offline, which means no panic when the Wi-Fi goes out during a study session or right in the middle of teaching MDM versus time-based coding. Again, I speak from experience. So if you want quick, reliable access that doesn't depend on your internet behaving, you're going to love this feature. Also, no more which tab is it in again moments during live demos. Once you're logged in, head over to my account. From there, just click download apps and follow the prompts. It's that easy. Like even before coffee, easy. The prompts are so simple. It feels like the Bookshelf team knew we'd be trying to do this with 14 tabs open, 3 emails unread, and a student asking if 99214 can be used for a sprained ankle in the background. So whether you're Team Mac or Team PC or Team, I don't know what this is, but it has a screen, they've got you covered. And once it's downloaded, offline access and full functionality equals bliss. All right, now comes the big reveal. Actually opening your ebook. I know. It looks like your new paper books without that snow day effect. There are 2 ways to do this, and here's the first. Click on My Library, and that's where your digital bookshelf, where all of your treasures live. Then just select the book you want, and maybe your shiny new 2025 book, complete with all its glorious updates and fresh code chaos. It'll open right in your screen, ready for action. If you're the type who doesn't like digging through shelves, even virtual ones, there's a faster way. Just click the search icon, the trusty little magnifying glass that makes us all feel like ebook detectives. Type the name of your book you're looking for, like 2025 CPT. And poof, as soon as it pops up in the search options, just click on it and bam, you're in. No scrolling, no stress, just straight to the goods. I always like telling my students, use this when your brain is full, your patience is low. It's the espresso shot of ebook navigation. Heads up, when you open your ebook, it's going to take you right back to where you left off, kind of like a digital bookmark with a steel trap memory. So if the last class you were deep diving into E&M codes, don't be surprised when it opens right to the new versus established patient guidelines. It's like, welcome back. We've been expecting you. It's convenient and mildly creepy in the best way. However, I genuinely appreciate this feature because it saves time and it helps maintain momentum. Just remember, if your last search was something random like explosive diarrhea, don't ask. Maybe clear that out before screen sharing during class. Now it's time for the main event. You're ready to apply what you just learned. Don't worry, there isn't a pop quiz. There are no trick questions. I promise. This is the moment to flex those freshly sharpened ebook muscles. Let's click, search, and highlight the documentation. And remember, if something doesn't go right the first time, just blame the Wi-Fi. It's a classic move and it works every time. A Medicare beneficiary visits Dr. Carter, an ENT specialist, for the first time after being referred by her primary care physician, Dr. Max, to seek evaluation for sinus issues. The patient reports that over-the-counter medications like Zyrtec and Sudafed have not helped. Dr. Carter performed a medically appropriate history and exam, identifies a likely allergic cause, and outlines steps, including environmental control measures and allergy testing. The medical decision making is straightforward. Dr. Carter documents the visit thoroughly and enters it into the EHR. A report detailing the encounter and subsequent testing was sent to Dr. Max. What E&M code is most appropriate to report? Here's where I channel my inner game show host. We've got multiple choice answers on the screen, and now it's time to crack open the ebook and go hunting for that initial code. This is where we show students that the answer isn't found in panic scrolling or blind guessing. It's about learning where to find the correct answer. So I click into the ebook, type in the code, and boom, there it is in black and white, and sometimes blue hyperlink if it's feeling fancy. And the goal here is to model how to go from question to confirmation using the tools at your fingertips, not just crossing your fingers and clicking C because it feels right. We're not just teaching test strategies, we're teaching real world, find the proof, confident coder energy. Here's the reality check when you're searching for a code. The ebook is going to light up like Times Square, showing you every single place that code is mentioned. And honestly, it can feel a little overwhelming. Like, did I just break the system? No, you just tapped into its full power. Here's the trick. I collapse all the sections. Yes, collapse them like folding laundry with a vengeance, and then scroll straight to the area you need. In this case, I'm looking for evaluation and management codes, so I head right to that section. This little move saves so much time and shows students they're not expected to swim through the sea of hyperlinks. They just need to know where to look. Once I find the evaluation and management section, I just click on the specific E&M code I need, and just like that, I'm instantly transported to the exact spot in the ebook where that code lives. I tell my students that's where the magic happens when your search turns into certainty. and your mouse click feels like a mic drop. This moment also helps reinforce that the answer isn't based on memory or luck. It's right there in the official text, waiting for you to confirm it. If you land in the wrong spot, just go back and click it again. Here's where I review the description of 99202 with my students. 99202 is an office or other outpatient visit for the evaluation and management of a new patient, which requires a medically appropriate history and/or examination and straightforward medical decision making. I can scroll down a bit and peek at 99232, office or other outpatient visit for the evaluation and management of an established patient, which requires a medically appropriate history and exam and low level of medical decision making. Sometimes the best way to confirm you're choosing the right code is to compare it with an almost right code. I remind students, don't just settle on the first code that looks good. Scroll down and read the definitions and see how the code stacks up against each other. You'll start to notice subtle differences like time ranges or complexity of problems, and this reinforces real-world coding confidence. Additionally, this scrolling move allows you to model how to analyze options rather than just memorizing them. That's next level coding mastery, my friends. If you want to look at another part of the E&M section, like the consultation codes, there's no need to scroll like you're lost in the procedural wilderness. Instead, just expand the E&M section of the table of contents and click directly on consultations. It's like using a teleportation portal. No need to manually scroll through 99202 through 99499 like a digital pioneer. One click and you'll be sprung right over to the consultation section, ready to review the definitions, requirements, and documentation rules. This shortcut is especially helpful when comparing E&M categories side by side. Teaching different code families, remember, work smarter, not scroll harder. This is where we bring back that old school feeling of highlighting your paper CPT book, but now without the fear of bleeding through the page. Just click and drag your mouse across the text you want to highlight, and a helpful color box will appear like a lovely little rainbow. Select your color and boom, you've claimed that code. Want to get fancy? You can even create custom colors for your personal highlighting system. For example, I highlight all anatomical references in green because in my head, green equals body parts. Think of it like traffic lights for your brain. Yellow, caution, maybe a guideline. Blue, definitions or notes. Green, anatomy codes. Red, rage. No, just kidding. Red, urgent audit alerts, of course. I always tell students your highlighter is not just decoration, it's your visual breadcrumb trail for when you come back later and need to find your way fast. All right, let's talk about adding notes, because sometimes a highlight isn't enough. Sometimes you need to leave yourself a little message like, don't forget this when you're coding at 11 p.m. with one eye open. To do this, just highlight the word or phrase, and then instead of choosing a color, click Add Note and start typing. That's it. You've officially added a note. I like to use this to remind myself of payer-specific quirks, like UHC denies this unless it's done by a unicorn, or drop teaching tips for students, or insert a little sass for sanity, like, yes, time matters here. It's your personal reference tool built right into the page. And honestly, future you is going to be so grateful. Let's switch it up and crack open the ICD-10 ebook because CPT had its moment and now it's time for diagnosis drama. A 25-year-old patient with type 1 diabetes is brought into the emergency department by family due to confusion, nausea, and fruity breath odor. The patient is tachycardic, pale, and diaphoretic. The emergency provider documents a medically appropriate history and exam, as well as moderate complexity medical decision making. It was discovered that the patient's insulin pump tubing was disconnected. The diagnosis of diabetic ketoacidosis is confirmed. After stabilization in the ED, the patient is admitted under observation status for continued IV hydration and glucose monitoring. What ICD-10 codes are reported? When you're ready to switch back to the new ebook, just click the back button in the upper left-hand corner. I mean, the ebook back button, not your browser back button, unless you enjoy starting over from scratch and shouting, "Why?" at your monitor. That's one little click. You'll return to your library where you can pick another book to explore, like ICD-10 or HCPCS or whatever digital joy awaits you next. So yes, switching between books is easy. Just like before, I'll start by heading to my library or using the search bar to find ICD-10 CM title. And yes, it opens right back where I left off, which means if I was last looking up toe fungus or Z codes for social drama, that's exactly where I'll land. Now, let's put our skills to the test. Same features, new book. We'll search a code or term, collapse the overwhelming sections, and jump to the right chapter because it's second nature. The truth is, once you master these ebook tools in one title, you can apply them across all of them. ICD-10, CPT, HCPCS, even that one textbook you regret buying but still need. Now, here's the moment where we remind everyone the answer isn't just a good guess. It's in the official guidelines. In this case, it's right here in ICD-10 guideline IC4A5A. And yes, you can access the guidelines directly from the table of content in your ebook. Just scroll to the top left menu, click Official Guidelines, and then expand the section you need. You'll see each section labeled clearly. I always tell my students, if you're debating between two codes, go to the guidelines and let the rule settle the argument. Because in coding, I just felt like it isn't a defense that will hold up in an audit. Let's get laser focused, guys. To find the rule we're talking about, IC4A5A, you'll want to start by selecting Section 1 from the official guideline menu. Think of Section 1 as the terms and conditions of diagnosis coding, except this time we actually do need to read it. Once you click Section 1, you'll see it expand into beautiful subparts like A, conventions, basically how to read the book. B, your general coding guidelines, your day-to-day decoder ring. And C, chapter-specific guidelines. This is where our answer lives. So go ahead and click Section 1, and don't be afraid to feel a little smug while you're doing it. You're not guessing anymore. You're building your case straight from the official source. Open up Section IC, and that's where things get real. This section is your chapter-specific rule book. Each major ICD-10 chapter, like neoplasm, cardiovascular, pregnancy, and so on, has its own special rules, quirks, and some plot twists. Clicking on Section IC will expand into a list of chapters, each labeled by system or condition type. We're about to head into Chapter 4, Endocrine, Nutritional, and Metabolic Diseases, because that's where our trusty diabetes coding rules live. It's like flipping straight into the manifestation codes, combination rules, and sequencing priorities. This step is all about targeted navigation, showing your students that they don't need to memorize every word. They just need to know where to look. Let's land this plane. Click on section 4A under chapter 4. This is the diabetes guideline section, and it's where all the coding clarity you've been searching for lives. From combination codes to sequencing rules, and yes, even IC4A5A, the exact guideline that answers the question we started with. This is your aha moment. You can show your students that you can trace an answer all the way from multiple choice screen back to the truth of the source. By teaching this step-by-step journey, you'll reinforce guideline-based coding, you'll build search confidence, and you'll show students how to answer questions with proof, not panic. Okay, is it just me? Or is this text way too tiny to read without squinting like you're deciphering a fine print on a pharmacy insert? Now, I'm a lady of a particular age, and I fully believe that font size should not be a test of endurance. So here's what you do. Look at the top right corner of your ebook window and click on the big A icon. Yes, that one that's clearly designated for us fabulous folks who are on the know the value of good lighting and large print. From here, you can adjust the font size because no one wants to read 6-point font after 8 hours of Zoom. Choose a font style that works for your eyes. Change the color mode, light, dark, sepia, your choice, your vibe. Tweak the margins and line height until your screen looks like it was custom designed for your reading pleasure. I tell my students and fellow instructors, make it comfortable for you, and even better, for your audience. If your students are sitting in the back row silently praying for an optometry referral, it might be time to give the font a little love. This feature turns your ebook from a digital textbook into a truly personalized learning experience. And that's how we roll in 2025. All right, now here's one of my favorite ebook power moves. It's a guideline, and if it refers you to a specific section, don't just scroll aimlessly or flip digital pages. Instead, click the magnifying glass at the top or open the search bar. From there, you can jump to the alpha index if you're starting with a term or condition, or go straight to the tabular section if you know the exact code or section. This trick saves time, frustration, and at least 3 cups of caffeine during late night study sessions. So the guideline we just reviewed, if it doesn't give you suggestions, it gives you marching orders. It clearly says, assign an additional code for the type of diabetes and another code for the associated complications related to the underdosing. Translation, we've got work to do. So now let's search the term diabetes using our trusty magnifying glass icon. This opens the alphabetic index where you can find the glorious subcategories of diabetes, type 1, type 2, drug or chemical induced, with complications, without complications, and yes, even secondary diabetes that makes you go, wait, what now? This is where we teach students how to follow the guideline trail like a coding detective. Start at the guideline, move to the index, and then jump into the tabular to finish the job. Remember, good coding doesn't stop at the first code, it tells the whole story. Once you've searched diabetes in the alpha index, you'll get a long, lovely list of options, like a digital buffet of glucose sugar issues. And here's the thing, you may need to scroll to find the exact type or complication you're looking for. Type 2 with neuropathy, scroll. Type 1 without complications, keep scrolling. It's totally normal. And no, it doesn't mean you've done anything wrong. It just means that the code isn't there. You just have to coax it out. Type 1 with ketoacidosis. Aha! I like to tell my students this isn't a video game. You won't unlock a secret level if you click randomly. Just scroll patiently and follow the trail. So keep the mouse wheel or the trackpad handy because the right code is often just a few lines down from where you expect it to be. And finally, here's the big payoff moment. When you select the code from the alpha index, the ebook doesn't just say good luck and walk away. Nope. It transports you directly to the tabular list for that code, like your very own ICD-10 time machine. Right here, you'll see the inclusion terms, exclusion terms, educational arrows, and all the details you need for proper selection and sequencing. This is what I call the code confirmation zone, where you validate that, yes, this is the right code. And no, you're not just guessing based on a hunch and a prayer. I remind my students, if you stop at the index, you're halfway there. But when you land in the tabular, that's when your answer becomes audit proof. And just like that, we've taken a question, followed the guideline, searched with strategy, and landed on the exact code with confidence. Thanks for watching, everyone. Don't forget to click the like and subscribe button to be alerted for new and exciting videos.